social media and lifestyle marketing expert. I've grown more than 150 small business and influencer social accounts to over 10,000 followers in less than 6 months. So, a little bit about my system. What we really do is we help influencers monetize their brand. Um, we help them become profitable with less than 20,000 followers. Of course, we can help somebody that has more than 20,000, but it's much harder the smaller your following is. So, we really focus on profitability and helping you become profitable. It's not just vanity metrics. And we do everything from branding to marketing to social media. So what are you going to learn today? I didn't want to just explain to you about what we do at Conquer here. I wanted to teach you a little bit something and make the hour valuable. So I'm going to sort of give you a really mini version of our training that we do. So we do a 2-day training that's 2 full days, 9 to 5. I'm going to give you a quick mini version of that. Obviously, you're not going to get out of it what you're going to get in 2 days. I can't fit 2 days into an hour. But I'm going to try to give you just enough to walk away that you can go home and do something with it and maybe get a little bit of results. So we'll talk about my branding system. We'll talk about a simple strategy to building your online brand. We'll go through some success steps for digital marketers, and I'll give you a complete overview of the 2-day training. So this webinar is for you if you're feeling a little bit confused or overwhelmed about expanding your brand. If you want to learn quickly, so if you want to grow your social media and following engagement, your social media following and engagement, and you want to do it quickly, this is the place for you. Or maybe you're a music industry professional who has a solid music industry resume, but doesn't get the visibility or respect you deserve. I've had a lot of people that have been in the music industry 10, 20, even longer than that. Actually, usually the longer they've been in it, and they're not on social media very much, the more they feel like this, because they feel like, man, I've done all of this for so long. I've done so much. And because I only have 5,000 followers on social media, nobody takes me seriously. This training's definitely for you. Or if you have a large following and good engagement, but you're not making any money there and you want to learn how to monetize that following that you already have. So I'm going to ask everybody to hold any questions you have to the end. You can put them in the chat, and hopefully April will be able to answer. We have April Benson on with you guys as well. April, maybe say hello if you're able to unmute. But if you stick around, you can ask your questions verbally on the Zoom, and I'll answer your questions for you.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm April Benson, Rouninger, Director of Training. That's all. I just wanted to give a little quick intro.
So just so you
just like randomly talking.
Yes, she actually, when we do our 2-day training, we do it together, and then the 90-day follow-up. So currently, and we're not going, this next training that we have is the very last one we're ever going to do that, because we've been selling out our trainings, and for her to do this with the amount of people that we have has been a little too time. Yes. So what we have been doing up until this point, we are going to do it for one more training and one more training only, is after you take the training, April will do a weekly one-on-one call with each and every person that takes the training. You get 90 days of that, and 90 days is not from the moment the training ends. 90 days is from when you have your first call with her. And if you're doing well and you're doing what you're supposed to do and you need a little bit more than 90 days, April will absolutely give you a little bit more than 90 days too. She works with you if you're working. But just hear some testimonials from some people that have taken the training in the past. We definitely have gotten some great results for people. So day one of the training, we go over branding. Really, that's the foundation of everything. You're not going until you have a solid brand. And I feel like this is where you get the most confusion. A lot of people either don't know how to do this and feel a little bit lost, or they feel like they already have a brand, but the holes in their brand is what's actually keeping them from growing. They actually have things that they need to clean up in their overall branding, and it's holding them back. And when you don't have a solid brand, you're not going to be able to create a nice content strategy. And when your content isn't right, content is king. I'm sure you guys have all heard that before, but having quality, consistent content and having a strategy to market that out is really what makes your numbers grow on social media. And there's a lot of things that you can do to make it go quicker and improve it after you get that right. But if you're doing all the things that we tell you to do to make it go quicker and to improve it, but your content strategy isn't right, your brand isn't solid, you're actually going to end up reaching a lot of people that say, this isn't that great, and they're never going to look at you again. They're going to turn a blind eye. So day one, we go over branding and we make sure that is exactly where you need it to be. And obviously you're not going to get that right in 2 days, and that's why we do the 90-day follow-up. Day two, we go over lifestyle marketing. So social, online, and lifestyle marketing tools and tips for online branding success. So today's online influencer, they usually have an active online presence. Maybe they have a small team that they're working with. They might have a merchandise store, online or offline. They're usually taking on brand partnerships. They might be self-funded or endorsed by brands. If they're a musician, they might have some self-funded touring. And maybe they'll have music streaming and distribution if they're a musician. So let's talk a little bit about the brand plan. Again, your brand is key. Some of the things you need to think about is, who are you as a brand? We need to start thinking about, who is your ideal customer? What are you selling them? Who are you speaking to and why? So an artist brand, they're going to have an online and offline brand image. It identifies the artist's personality. It matches their style and look to their sound. Hopefully they're participating in lifestyle and social marketing. Hopefully they see themselves as a content marketer, because that's really what it takes in today's music industry. Tour and music opportunities for their brand is something they're looking for, and they're going to have a signature style with the music and brand. So one of the things that we spend a good amount of time on in our training is talking about developing the brand hub, developing your landing page. So that's something that a lot of people don't understand the value of a website anymore, or a brand hub, because they say, hey, I'm on all these different social media channels. I spend enough time managing that. The problem is that we do something called connecting the dots, where basically, in order to really engage your audience and lead to a sale, you need to be constantly in communication with them through many different formats, right? So you want to be able to reach your audience outside of social media. Social media is pretty passive, and you're dependent on the algorithm there. Your audience is only going to see what the algorithm on any given social media channel is going to show them, right? So you want to be able to collect emails. You want to be able to collect phone numbers for text marketing. You want to be able to have direct reach to your audience. So, we talk about what type of website you should look for. A lot of people I've seen opt for the free pages, the Wix, things like that. That's not great for SEO. There's a lot you're losing in that. And we talk about why it's worth it to invest in your brand hub. We talk about that there's different types of brand hubs. You don't have to have a full-fledged website necessarily. What might work for you with the time and resources that you have is just a simple landing page that you're utilizing to drive people to purchase one specific thing, if you're driving them to purchase anything at all, or maybe it's just specifically to collect emails or to collect phone numbers for text marketing. But having that brand hub and having that place to do that, that's definitely the thing to do. We talk about the do's and don'ts. We talk about to blog or not to blog. I'm not going to go into that right now, but the main point of what we go over in the training is there's lots of reasons to blog. However, not everybody has the time resource to do that. And we talk about consistency with blogging, and maybe opting not to have a blog, even though a lot of digital marketers talk about it, if you don't have the time to actually be consistent with it. The biggest thing is content is key here. Oops. So the purpose of blog marketing, you're driving traffic and attention. It helps to build credibility and make you authentic. It allows you to tell your story. It allows you to give reviews rather than show commercials. And it gives you potential customers that you may not have had. The biggest thing with a blog is it's really good with SEO. It's driving, and if you guys aren't familiar with SEO, that's another thing that we go over in the training. It stands for search engine optimization, but essentially that's what allows you to come up on the first page in Google, right? So when somebody is searching a keyword, obviously you want to come up when your brand name is searched, right? If somebody searches Ridinger Girls, which is April and I's brand, or Conquer Entertainment, or Amanda Ridinger, of course, I want myself to come up in the top page of that. However, what would also be great, and I'm not going to be able to get this keyword because there's so many people with way more resources than I have to get this, but great example. If I wanted to come up on the first page when somebody searched influencer marketing, search engine optimization, what would allow me to do that, right? And you're going to choose keywords that will work for your brand when you do this. You know, it might be something a little bit more generic, not quite so commonly searched. You know, you're gonna aim a little bit lower than the top search keyword. But you know, we'll have to see what works for your brand. Unlike social media, on a blog or a brand hub, you're able to capture emails. You may want to use drop shipping. And the biggest thing is it's a great way to brand yourself. It's a great space to represent your brand. Social media marketing is the next big thing that we touch on in the training. Obviously, there's many social media sites out there. These are the ones we go over in depth in the training. And here's the big thing when you're looking at social media marketing and the millions of people on each of these channels. What you're thinking about is what channel works for you. Your focus is not on updating every single one of these social media channels every day, all day. What you want to do is own the real estate, right? So you want to own the real estate for your brand on every important channel. However, you want to figure out what channel works best for you as a brand. And what I mean by that is maybe, you know, maybe you have a lot to say, right? And maybe you've got funny little quips all day long. Twitter might be the best for you. You also need to look at who your audience is and where they live, right? So if your audience doesn't live on Twitter, maybe that's not the right channel for you. Are you a very visual brand? Do you do well in videos and photos? You know, we may be looking at YouTube or Instagram if that's the case. So we're looking at two things. We're looking at where your audience spends the majority of their time. So we're looking at the demographics of your audience and where they really are at. And we're also looking at what works for you based on the type of content that a channel, that a social media platform focuses on. And it may be like, let's say you have, April was talking to one of the people in the 90-day follow-up earlier about what was the social media platform you're talking about that caters, I mean, the majority of this woman's audience was Japanese, right?
Oh,
so
Line.
What was it? Line. So while we don't teach on those in the training, that's something that we may work with you on the 90-day follow-up. Maybe if you're a musician, you're focused on SoundCloud, right? Especially if you're like a DJ. Maybe if you're a gamer, I know that there's several social media channels that are specifically targeted to gamers, right? So we're going to focus on what makes the most sense for you. So what we talk about is picking 3 channels, and you're going to have 1 main and 2 secondaries that you're going to spend the majority of your time on. The rest, you're just going to use a scheduler like Hootsuite to have to kind of repost some of your content, so you have updates going out to them, to the rest of the channels. But you're going to put your main focus in terms of your content, your unique content, and your engagement on your 1 main channel and then 2 secondary channels. So, you know, we have to be aware that, you know, while it's nice, best case scenario, you'd update all 20 channels all the time, right? Nobody has the time to do that. Absolutely nobody, except for maybe somebody in high school. I don't know. But most people don't have the time to do that, right? So you really want to do a few channels really well rather than trying to manage all of them as a digital marketer. Unless you have a big team and you can hire other people to manage the other channels, then it might be worth it to do it. But the majority of us makes the most sense to just focus on a few. Okay. Um, so, what is lifestyle marketing? We keep talking about lifestyle marketing. Lifestyle marketing is social and organic. This is a great example of it. Sarah Rose Stacks says, just discovered flannel dresses. Thank you, Urban Outfitters and Motives Cosmetics for pretty things that are cozy too, right? She's showing her look here. She's just posting a picture like she would normally post, but she's kind of having people see what she's using in the picture, and you have people right underneath asking her about it. Somebody asked, what's that lipstick color, right? Then she's able to go back, direct message them, tell them what it is, and more importantly, tell them where to get it from, where they can buy it directly from her, right? So this is what lifestyle marketing really looks like. It's social and organic way to promote products that you use. Hopefully the content is still engaging your fan base and followers. It's something that you would post whether or not you were adding products to it. It helps you develop a relationship with your fans and followers. So with engaged fans, what do? We develop a relationship. Um, the most important thing is you're making friends here. You're establishing a rapport and trust. That's how you get engaged fans. It's all about the relationship. Once you have a relationship with somebody, it's easier for them to say yes to you. And just so you understand, anytime you ask for ask your audience for something over social media, that is, that is going to lower your engagement a bit. And that is something that is going to put strain on your relationship. Just like anytime you ask somebody that is in your personal life, right, in your world for something, anytime you ask for a favor, if you ask for too many favors, right, it's going to strain the relationship. If you don't have a strong enough relationship, if you haven't called somebody in a year and then you call them up and ask them for a favor, that's going to strain that relationship, right? It's the same thing on social media. So anytime you're posting a product, a thing that a lot of artists don't think about, anytime you're posting a flyer to your show, anytime you're inviting somebody to an event on social media, that's an ask, believe it or not. Anytime you're asking them to leave social media to do something else, go here to watch my video, go vote for me on this channel, that's an ask. So if you don't have a strong enough rapport and relationship with your audience, if you're not posting any other content, I see so many artists that have 20 show flyers posted and they never post anything else. You don't have a relationship with that audience, and you're going to have people unfollowing your page, going nose blind, not paying attention. They're certainly not going to show up at your show when you do that. You need to be posting regular content, let your audience get to know you. So what are the keys to content marketing? So you need to become a storyteller. What is content? It's the story of your brand that connects, it compels, and ultimately your goal is for it to convert, right? You want to convert your followers into customers. So where do we start with content marketing? You're going to start with your bio. You want to create a bio that stands out. The link in your URL on Instagram, for example, that's part of your bio, you're going to link to somewhere important. You don't want it going to a random product. You don't want it going, it's your one and only chance on Instagram to send somebody off of that platform. You want to go somewhere that's important, that you're getting the best value out of that. Hopefully that maybe you can get a way to connect with them off of Instagram. So maybe you're sending them to a landing page that collects emails. Maybe you're sending them to a landing page that gets their phone number for text marketing. Or maybe you're doing a contest or a campaign and you're temporarily redirecting that link to something that does that. The biggest mistake I've made is seeing people send that link directly to some random product that has nothing to do with the content underneath of it. It's confusing, doesn't have anything to do with the bio. It doesn't represent the overall brand, So misuse of that link, huge mistake. But beyond that, your bio should stand out. The phrases in the bios on most social media channels are searchable. So you see this individual here put speaker, author, online business coach, clearly defines who this person is. You'd know if you want to follow them very quickly just by taking a look at this bio, but also it's very searchable. If I'm searching for speaker, if I'm searching for author, her profile is going to come up first. Great bio. So one of the things that you really want to focus on in turning fans into customers is putting your art over your relationship building. Putting your art and relationship building over sales. So you are creating content that is your art. And I don't care if you are, a stay-at-home mom, or if you're, a music artist. Either one, the content that you're putting out, you need to look at that as your art. That is your art. Even if it's a funny video, even if you're a comedian, right? You're a stay-at-home mom, but the stuff you're putting out, you're sort of a comedian, right? I'm sure many of you have seen. I know that there's a lot of moms that do funny little videos. No makeup on, their hair in a bun. They're a total mess, but they're funny, and those videos go viral, right? So you need to look at the content you're putting out. That's your art. And you're using your art to build a relationship. You're communicating with every piece of content you're putting out, and you're engaging people on these social media channels. You're writing back to the comments that they put on your content. You're sending direct messages. You're liking other people's content. You're liking their photos. You're liking their videos. You're commenting yourself on other people's content. And we're going to talk later, well, maybe not in this training today, but we're going to talk in the certified artist developer training. We talk in depth about targeted engagement strategy. And that's also something we work on quite a bit in the 90-day follow-up. For those that need it, we meet you where you're at. But we talk about how to do this in a targeted way. But you're building a relationship through engagement. But that's what's the priority on your social media channels, art and relationship building. Because I'll tell you what, you're not going to sell anything if you don't put those two things first. If you're, I'm sure you've been in a store and had a sales clerk kind of follow you around, hover over you and say, do you need anything? What can I help you with? What do you end up doing? Do you end up asking them for help? Maybe sometimes if you're already thinking you needed help. But for the most part, what you're going to do is you're going to beeline out of the store, right? You're not going to say, yeah, sure, sell me something. So, but the clerk that comes up to you and has a conversation with you and kind of figures out what you need and then brings it to you, that's when you make a sale. Again, so you're treating this like any other relationship. You're putting your art out over social media, and you're building a relationship with people. Again, we talk about which platform you should choose. And I'll go through just briefly a few of them right now, but we really spend time figuring this out both in the training and in the 90-day follow-up. But again, you're focusing on one main platform and you're having two secondary platforms. So there's really only three that you're going to spend your time on. And a lot of people, you get questions like, what's the best platform to market myself on? That's not really a generic answer. It's a specific answer. There's not a singular best platform. I can't tell you Instagram's the best platform to do everything on. That's not how digital marketing really works. But what I can tell you is I can tell you a little bit about Instagram, and we can see if it makes sense, if it fits with your brand, right? So here's some basics about Instagram. Obviously, it allows you to post photos and videos to your profile, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with most of these social media channels that I'm going to go over. It allows you to like and follow other users whose profile you like. You use hashtags as a main search method to find similar pictures and profiles to what you're looking for. You can tag people in your photos and in your stories, and there's also a live feature. Post quality is paramount, but this is really on any social media channel. This isn't just on Instagram. You want to have a clear picture quality. You want to make sure that the photo that you're posting engages really well with your current audience. You want to make sure it matches your online brand. You're looking for something that educates, entertains, and inspires. And you're wanting to utilize hashtags. Every post that you put up should have relevant hashtags. And I can't stress enough when I say relevant. We talk about relevancy so much in our 2-day training. You want to think about the relevancy of literally everything you're doing. So, people ask, how many hashtags should you use? And I've heard people say, oh, a maximum of 3, no more than 10. I hear all sorts of things. I think that putting a number on it is silly. You're going to use as many hashtags as you can think of that are extremely relevant to what you're posting. So if you're posting a photo where you're wearing a pink shirt, you probably just don't want to hashtag the color pink, right? That's too general. That's not relevant. You don't want to stretch the idea of what relevant is. Use common sense and use hashtags as many as are needed, or as many as you can think of that are very relevant to what you're posting. That's the best rule of thumb for utilizing hashtags. Using post, you're going to post content, photos, videos, stories, and live that reflects who you and your brand is. You're going to use hashtags to target the audience's attention. You can use built-in filters to help edit the picture. And again, quality of the photos that you're putting out is extremely important too. And that's not just on Instagram either. You don't want something that isn't framed well. Great example that I see a lot with artists. I'll see them have somebody, they're performing at a live show. They'll ask their friend to take a picture. Their friend takes a picture from the very back of the room. Maybe it's not a full audience, and the artist is a tiny little speck up on stage, and they post that picture. Not a great picture, and especially I've seen videos like that where the audience, maybe they're performing at a cafe and most of the audience is there to eat. They're not even paying attention. You don't want to post that video. You want a well-framed video where the subject of your photo it elicits an emotion. So you want something that that's fun, that's entertaining, that's exciting. You don't want a photo of your audience looking bored. And I got a great example of that. At one point, before I was super knowledgeable in all of this, I posted a picture of one of our trainings. While April was presenting, I took a picture from the front of the room. But what does an audience look like when you're presenting, a educational presentation? They're just staring forward. In just a photo, maybe they look a little bored even, right? It's not a very exciting photo. Not something that you'd want to post, right? So you want to really think through what you're posting. Make sure it's not blurry. Make sure that it's cropped well and framed well. And make sure, that when you look at the photo, does it make you feel something, right? Quality over quantity. You hear a lot in social media trainings talking about consistency. Yes, consistency is absolutely important, but it's secondary to quality. If you have to sacrifice one, sacrifice consistency over quality. And I can't think of a better example than that than the past year. A lot of us stayed at home like we were supposed to, but staying at home, if maybe you're a single person, maybe it's just you and your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend, and there's not a whole lot going on, and maybe you're working from home too, and you're very busy working, not a whole lot of exciting things to post. I think that over the past year, if you didn't have very much to post, it was okay not to post very much. Better to not post very much than to post stuff that was halfway done, right? So again, quality over quantity, great photos, post to other social channels. And one of the biggest things that we talk about is analytics. So that's something that we'll go over in the training, but you're going to use analytics to figure out when's the best time to post, what's your best content, what's working and what isn't. We look at results. We look at what's actually working to determine your content strategy. Right? So you're going to use the analytics to determine a whole lot of things about what you're doing. We're going to pay attention to those analytics. Using stories. Stories are great for content that isn't well thought out. That's where you can really let your audience get to know you. Create real-time experiences with followers. You still want the stuff to be on brand, but it doesn't have to be as well edited. It doesn't have to be, as it doesn't have to be evergreen content that's as, as put together. That's where you can be at home with no makeup, just talking to the camera, really relaxed. Stories you can post one after another also. You don't have to really think out the timing. You don't have to think about the time of day as much that you're posting stories. In stories, you can tag locations. You can use hashtag clips. There's actually feeds for locations, for hashtags where people can go on and watch stories for Greensboro, North Carolina, and they see everybody that posts a story and tag that location, and you're going to get a lot more views, and you're going to get people that see that you didn't know, that like what they see and come to your page and follow you and start paying attention to you and become a potential customer. And I'm sorry, guys, if I'm talking too fast. I'm just trying to fit all of this in the time we have. And I have somebody special coming on any minute now. She might already be here to talk to you about our app that we have. So I'm trying to get through this for you as quick as I can. You get exposure to potentially hundreds of new followers. You're able to use stories is the best place to use for contest and campaigns. It's a really great place to use for that, and for announcements, exclusive content. And again, make sure you're using your analytics and insights to see how your stories did. Third-party apps are great. We're going to go over those in the training. I'm going to speed past it just to kind of keep us going. And ultimately, what you want to do is drive sales. So link to your landing page, your brand hub that we talked about in your bio. I see a lot of people that are associated with shop.com that just have their shop.com page there. Not a great thing to do. That's like saying, it's like sending your husband to go pick up something and not telling him what really at the mall for you. Really, it not a great thing to do. Send them to a specific store, send them to a specific product, a lot better, but you don't want to just use your shop.com page there as your link. Okay. Engage. Same thing with iTunes. You don't want to send somebody just generically to your iTunes as an artist. Same type of deal. You want to be, it either needs to be a brand hub, or it needs to be to a specific product for a specific reason associated with the content that you recently posted. If that's confusing, take the 2-day training and I'll make sure that it makes a ton of sense to you. Okay. You're going to engage with followers by liking posts, watching stories and live content, direct message. Again, I sort of already went through hashtags, but using hashtags, relevancy is key. Tag only relevant tags that match your content. You're going to use enough tags to sum up your content and reach your target audience. Very important, targeted engagement. You're going to like posts who utilize the same hashtag as your post, because they're going to come back and see, they're going to say, oh, somebody liked my post, and they're going to come back and see that you just posted something similar recently. They're going to see that you guys have a connection point. Tag locations in your stories. Comment on other posts that use the same hashtag or have similar content. You're going to connect product to content. You're not going to post advertisements on your social media. You're not going to say, go buy a wig. You're going to post yourself drinking a wig and talking about what a great night you had last night, but how you have to keep going this morning, and you're tired this morning, and you're drinking your awake, right? Tag relevant products to the one that you posted. So like if I posted, myself drinking awake, like I just talked about, I might tag 5 Hour Energy, for example. Like posts with the same hashtags as your posts. Share a story as you're actively using the product and post link in bio. And you're going to comment on posts, on other posts that use the same hashtag or have similar content. Again, consistency is very useful. That's secondary to quality, right? Quality first, consistency second. You're going to have success relative to your consistency. And what I mean by that is the more consistent you are, the more success you're going to have and the quicker you're going to have it. Not worth sacrificing quality for consistency, but you do want to have, ideally a consistent posting schedule. You're going to have timing and consistency into your strategy. You're going to use Instagram's analytics to see your best post times. You're going to research like accounts for content, for post times, for the type of followers to target. Overall, you're going to use it to get ideas for your brand. You want to respond back to comments and you want to interact. If possible, post daily, 3 to 5 times a week minimum. And that varies. That's something we'll talk about when we get to content strategy. It's something we talk about in the training. That's kind of an old rule. It's a good rule of thumb if you don't have a better strategy in place, but really it's better to customize it. Some people are better off posting once a month. Some people are better off posting every other week. We have to really analyze what works for you and customize that. But in general, 3 to 5 times a week is a good rule of thumb if you don't have a content strategy developed. And especially if you're going to be posting sales related content. If you're going to be asking your audience for anything, you need to have enough personal content. I'm sure many of you have heard of the 80-20 rule, but you need to have enough personal content so your whole page isn't advertisements. You're going to mix in stories and live sessions to spice up your channel content. Facebook marketing, you know what? I'm going to kind of just skip past this because I'm running short on time. I talked a little bit too much and went into too much detail in some of the areas, but this will be in the training. So, and so will many other social media platforms. So I apologize, but I'm just going to skip right past this. One of the things I will stop on is campaigns. Campaigns and contests are a great way to drive back sales, but campaigns and contests are to be run after you have your brand developed. You have a brand strategy, your overall brand cohesiveness is there. You know who you are as a brand, as an individual. Even if it's a personal brand, you know who you are first. Second, you have an engaged audience. You have maybe at least 1,000 followers. I would actually recommend much bigger than that. That's why we have our minimum requirement for artists to register for the platform is 10,000 followers on any one social media channel. And I actually think that's a great place to start. Sometimes if you have a really engaged audience, like we work with one artist, I think he has like 8,000 followers, but anytime he posts something, you see at least 50 or 60 people go and do it immediately. That's a really well engaged following. It's okay for him to run contests and campaigns. Bottom line is, no matter the size of your following, they need to be really engaged before you're running contests and campaigns. That's the point of the story. But we go through in depth in the training how to run campaigns, how to run contests, what the difference are, and this is a really great way to drive sales. It's when you're posting lifestyle type content that includes product, that's like the drippy faucet. You'll maybe get a sale off of that every once in a while. You're not going to get sales every time you post that type of content. You're absolutely not. But when you run contests and campaigns, it's a targeted way to drive sales. And when we're talking about sales, the reason that you need a bigger following, usually really great internet marketers that have, you're talking about somebody that has 1 million followers that are really engaged, a great conversion rate. And by conversions, we're talking about sales, is like a 0.2%. It's less than 1%, right? So if you have 10,000 followers, when you run a contest or campaign, you're lucky if you get, 10, 20 sales, probably less than that, with the numbers I'm giving you, right? But that's why you're regularly running contests and campaigns, and you're building up an audience and you're building up share of customer, right? That's how you end up making enough money to have a full-time income off of doing this. That's how people do it, right? So, but the bottom line is you don't want to start trying to drive a revenue with contests and campaigns until you have a large enough and engaged enough following. Worth it to do. Being consistent. Oh, we're still on Facebook. I'm going to run past this and I'm going to run past YouTube too. I'm not going to go into the specific social media channels right now, just for the sake of time, but we do go in depth into it in the trainings. So search engine optimization, I will quickly touch on this. So SEO, you hear people talk about it a lot. It's key. It's how you drive new leads to yourself. And the keys for search engine optimization, presence. And what I mean by presence is you own your real estate. So you have that brand hub that we talked about, and you utilize the name of your brand in the URL for the web hub. You have for your brand hub. You have the title there. You own your real estate in terms of social media channels. And I actually recommend kind of going crazy with that. So like even like I don't ever use Tumblr or Blogger or things like that, but for my brands, I own the real estate for those. Even the more obscure social media channels, I just went in really quick, set up a profile on those. I spent a couple of days a few years ago doing that. Right? You just go in real quick, set up a profile, never went back, but that affects your SEO, believe it or not. Relevancy is the next thing. You don't want to go in, it actually, the way search engines are set up right now, they penalize you for trying to trick the search engines. They're trying to look for really relevant content. So the best way to get a search engine's attention is to have lots of really great content where you're talking about key subjects that are going to be relevant to your audience. So if you're a weight loss coach, you have a blog that you're talking about your weight loss journey. You're talking about what did and didn't work, but you're talking about subjects that your audience will be really interested in, right? And again, authenticity, that's another one. So you want to be authentic, you want to talk about relevant topics, and you want to have a presence. Again, you need to do what works for you as well. So I know that when we talk about everything that goes into digital marketing, for a lot of people, it's overwhelming. They say, I have a day job, I have kids, I have, responsibilities at my church, I have all this stuff going on. How am I ever going to have the time to do all of this? We develop a strategy that maximizes, you're realistic with yourself. That's how you do all this. Again, you focus in on one social media channel and 2 secondary ones. You don't have a blog if it doesn't make sense for you. You don't do videos if you don't have a lot of time. For example, your YouTube is not going to be your main channel because creating videos is time consuming, right? So you're realistic with yourself. You say, okay, I have 5 hours a week to allot to digital marketing. What do we do with it? And that's what we work on in the 90-day follow-up. You don't have to do every single thing that we're mentioning here. But if you do the right things with your time, you'll get good search engine optimization, and you'll get good engagement. Results are always, in anything you do, including digital marketing, dependent on the time you spend, right? So you're going to get a little bit less if you're spending less time, but it's still worth doing. I promise you that. You might have the drippy faucet, the leaky faucet that's slowly filling the bucket if you don't have a whole lot of time, rather than, the immediate windfall. This might not be something that replaces your income very quickly if you don't have a lot of time to dedicate to it. But if you're consistent over a few years, you can slowly build it up and turn it into a great income source. That's how this works. The next thing I am going to very quickly touch on, let me just check the time again here. I'm going to skip over newsletter marketing too, but newsletters are a key component of digital marketing. That's why you're collecting the email. And this is another thing that people say, I don't have time to write newsletters. A really great tools to nab and grab from other sources. Shop.com provides a ton of great marketing materials. You can leverage that for your newsletters. RSS feeds are good. There's a lot of great places to grab content where you're not writing entire newsletters, and newsletters don't have to be very long either. And you can limit your frequency of newsletters too. Sometimes, people are overdoing it with newsletters. I'm sure you guys have experienced that, where you're on an email list and you feel like they're flooding your inbox, and it's annoying, right? So it doesn't always have to be that you're sending a ton of newsletters in order to achieve consistency. You have to figure out what consistency works for your audience. Maybe you're only sending a newsletter every few months, right? But it's but it's a very high quality newsletter that really engages your audience, that they're excited to get, that drives home whatever goal you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to sell a product, if you're trying to get them to attend a training, whatever it is, it does a really great job of creating a call to action, so maybe you're not spending a ton of time on newsletters. And I ended up spending more time on that than I intended to there, but we go into it in great detail in the 2-day training. Okay. I'm going to kind of skip over the campaigns and contests. You guys will get that in the training as well. And I'm going to let Rachel Lee Carey go on and take over. Rachel, are you here?
Yep, I'm here. Hi.
Okay. So
hello, everybody.
Got my share, and the host of the meeting, if Rachel doesn't have the ability to screen share, if you could turn that on for her. And Rachel is one of our certified artist developers. She's worked with us for a very long time, but she is a wonderful internet marketer, and she has mastered our lifestyle marketing app and presents it better than anyone I have ever seen. She presents it better than me. So I always ask her to come on and share the app with our audience when we're doing these presentations.
So, hey guys, thank you, Amanda. See, that's so sweet. I feel like that's way too much hype to live up to. So I'm like, but thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited to share this with you guys. One of the reasons I get really excited about the app is because I feel like it is one of the best tools that has been developed that nobody really knows about. And Amanda and April, they have so much knowledge when it comes to music and artists and marketing and lifestyle marketing. And their idea was, okay, we're going to develop a tool that we can make it really super easy for these artists who are on the go, running around, to post something to social media and monetize it. But then, because they're geniuses and they're awesome, they were like, how can we package this and turn this into a tool that regular, unfranchised owners like you and me, we can use it to do our own lifestyle marketing on social media with the same ease and speed that an artist would need. So like they have like 20 seconds to post something. We like have so much more time, but like it's still that ease and that speed and that simplicity. That's what this app brings. So I'm gonna just tell you guys a little. First of all, I want to do this like live. I want to do it interactive. I want you guys to be able to see how this works step by step. So what exactly this app does is that it takes any photo that you would normally post to social media and it ties it directly to Market America and shop.com. So anything that we sell on shop.com, we can now add in as product.
Rachel, can you just have whoever's not on mute, just please mute themselves? I want to hear everything you're saying.
Gotcha. So, okay, guys. So if you're not on mute and you think your dog or your cat or your children are making noise, please put yourselves on mute so everyone can hear. But yeah, so this is, thank you. Awesome. So like I was saying, if if you want to take any of these pictures that you would post on social media, this app takes it and turns any category on shop.com, and you can place that product into the post. So, I mean, for me, it's just like the best thing ever. So I'm actually going to go live on my phone because I think that's the best way to do this and share with you guys my screen. So pardon my crazy background. Okay, so can everyone see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is you're actually going to go to the Conquer Lifestyle Now app. So if you don't have the app, trust me, download it. You're going to want to download it. It's amazing. And as you can see, so actually let me go right back real quick because I want to show you guys what it looks like. So we see like right here, it says Conquer Lifestyle Now. That's the app you're looking for. So if you go into the App Store, that's what you're looking for. When you start to create your profile, you want to log in with your shop.com credentials. This is super important because the amazing thing about this app is everything is tracked the exact same way we track all of your purchases, all of your points, everything that gets tracked through shop.com is tracked the exact same way here. So you need to make sure you log in with your shop.com credentials. not your back office credentials. So it's very important that you make the distinction. Sorry. So once you download it, you know, you have the ability to put a picture, make a little bio for yourself, and that's, you know, all fun. But the coolest thing about this is what you can do with these photos. So as you can see here, I have like a gallery of like photos of things, and these are all photos I've posted through the app. So all of these have products that I've associated with them. But instead of like showing you these, we're just gonna do one from beginning to end so you can see what the process is like. So let's say I had just taken some photos and I want to post to social media. I can select, okay, we won't go through my wedding dress shopping. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Okay, so here is a great photo of, what is going? Okay, I have this on. There we go. So this is a photo of me. It's a headshot of me from just a thing I was doing in the lab. I do lab work. I used to do it at Columbia now, and Memorial Kettering. Now I work somewhere else. But so I can choose this photo. And what we have in this app is object recognition software. So what you see listed right to the left are actual categories on shop.com that the object recognition software was able to pick up from my photo. So I picked up face, person, human, female, clothing. Every single one of these categories is a category on shop.com. So it's amazing. And so if you see, like, the first thing we'll talk about is face, because it obviously sees my face, and it's going to give you your Market America products first up. The reason why is because obviously you want to make the BV on this. You want, you know, to be able to sell these products, you get the higher retail value. So let's just say I want to turn this into a post that I'm putting on social media. I can literally build all the makeup that I put on my face through here. So I can put the, you know, flawless face bundle, but, you know, we'll just go with one stick right now. Then we can also add more products to the post. So I can keep going with face, add the facial exfoliating cleanser. Maybe I want to talk about skincare, you know. I can also add, so you can keep going through the list, but let's say there's something that you're like, I want to do something specific. I want to build, you know, lipstick, or, you know, and it didn't necessarily grab that right away. So what I can do is I can just put in here, lipstick. Simple category, easy. And right away, again, your Motives products are going to pop up first because that's our products. That's what we want to sell. So, but then if, like, you know, even if I wanted to go with something, so let's add, you know, my Talia Motives lipstick because I like that one. That one's got a nice creamy matte finish. I like that. But let's say I wanted to talk about my lab coat, you know, I can even put in something as obscure as that, and boom, there it goes, you know. White Halloween all the way to the Junior Doctor, all the way to actual, like, real ones. I know they've had real ones before on here. So here we go. Aromax STEM Lab adult lab coat, like the real one I would actually purchase. So I could even add that to my post if I wanted to talk about it. If I wanted to make a post about, you know, wearing makeup in the lab, or, you know, women in STEM, any of these kind of things. So now that I've got my products added to my post, there's a couple of different things that we want to take a look at. So right here, you can see where it says, say something about this post. This is where I like to say, this is your mini blog, you know? This is what you want to talk about, like the kind of like longer article kind of thing that we talk about. So you don't have to put hashtags here. You're just gonna chat a little bit about this. So, you know, I love working in the lab and rushing to dinner after. I keep my Motives makeup bag right next to my locker. Right in my locker next to my lab coat, right? Something like that. Boom. So, And I could go a little on, I can go a little on longer, but we're just, we're doing this as a test post. So I just want to show you guys. So you can write, and some people will post like pictures of their food, like people love recipes. And you could actually put the full recipe in here along with the products, that are available to you. So let's say we were doing like a recipe, something or other. I could actually even put something like flour. So I just want to show you guys different like options you have. If it's on shop.com, you can sell it through this app. Okay, so you can do anything you want with this. Full recipes, full makeup tutorials, with what's going on with the still. Anything that's a still image that you would post on social media, you can play with it here. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to add that. But now my post is ready for publishing. Let's say I finished my little mini blog or whatever, I'm ready to post. If you look here, I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email, and text. I can go straight into any single one of these categories and post this image with the products attached to it into that medium. Now, I like to go for Facebook because that's my thing. Like, I'm a Facebook person. I also have an Instagram account, but I don't flush it out because, like April and Amanda said, you want to focus on something, so I try to focus on my Facebook. But one of the things that I love about this is the text feature. So here's the way I use that. Let's say you're going out and you're actually doing this for a one-on-one kind of thing, and you're out with some friends and you're talking about a product and you're kind of like, hey, this was the things that we were talking about. I love taking photos, like a selfie with me and my friends real quick, putting the products that we just discussed into this and then texting them that directly. So that way, it's like a really simple, easy way for them to remember exactly what you guys were chatting about. And the thing that is amazing about this is it links directly to like a trend shop that is run by Market America through Conquer. So we can sell it directly there. Oh, shoot, my phone died. No, it didn't. Wait, what's going on? Did I press something? Sorry about that. Sorry, Jason, I put you on the blast and now everybody can see your face for a little while. But you look good, so it's great. All right, so let's get back to it. Okay, so instead, what I'm gonna do right now is, instead of using the text feature, I'm gonna post it directly to Facebook, okay? So now what it's gonna do is I can either choose to text, to take that text that they were just posted directly in there, but instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a little shorter caption that'll like capture people's interest. And I'm gonna use the hashtags now. So what I'll do is I'll do something like a little pithy. So serving these. Yeah. While serving, sorry, my fiance just walked in, so this is him. While serving the public health or something like that, right? Let's see. He did not, this was last minute, so he did not know we were doing this today. So he's all like, what are you doing? Hashtag.
Is that reality?
Nope. Conquer. Right, something like that.
Yeah, Rachel said I embarrassed her with how much I said, but if you guys had any idea how much Rachel is doing or how awesome she is, you guys would not believe she even made it on this call. But I'll leave it at that. I'll
can't. No, we can't. I get very embarrassed. Very easily.
Rachel's so awesome.
Embarrassing. So something like this, I would post maybe something cute like this, like a caption, serving Facebook, serving public health, women in STEM, blah, 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 right? So then what I would do, like, I'm not going to post this directly because I didn't finish my mini blog and all that stuff. So I'm going to make it private to only me, but I'm going to show you guys what this looks like when you post it. And this is what is freaking awesome. Okay. Share it to Facebook, right? So we're going to come out of the app. I want you guys to see what this is. We're going to go directly to my page. So this is what it looks like on Facebook. So it actually looks like just, see how those like articles that you see people post, or they post links and you can see directly in there. There's nothing in here sales pitchy. There's nothing in here directly that talks about motives or any products. It's just a picture I would post, and I would probably put that caption anyway. But this is a way to monetize it, because here's what happens when you click on the link. This takes me directly into my Get Conquer page. So what this is you have this page. Everybody who signed up for a UFO, you have a getconquer.com account. All you have to do is sign into it and like create your own profile and everything like that, the same way that you would do it for like your mini websites. So now this has now saved this as a blog on my getconquer.com page. But what's awesome is all those products that I put in there are right here. I can click on them. And when I click on them, they're added directly to my cart. And what that does when it's added directly to my cart is I can go through here, I can log in, I can check out, and I can purchase. Here you go, honey. Just ask me. It's okay. Sorry. Anticlimactic now because I'm stopping here. Here you go. I can now purchase anything that I put into this blog. So, and it tracks it exactly the same way as if you sent them to your shop.com. So now who here has gone out and been like, oh, come visit my site, check out, shop.com / Jason Peter loves caps, like, and you're like, or something crazy like that. And you're like, wait, no. And they go and they forget what the exact URL is. And then they go shop.com. And then what just happened? You lost a customer, Now my phone really did die, so that's great. You just lost a customer. So that's the biggest issue, is that if you've lost a customer and they now go to your regional salespeople, that's like the worst thing, And to me, this is a great way to make sure you always keep your sale, which is to make sure that, here, starting this back up again, because I want you guys to see one more other thing. This is a great way for you to make sure that you keep your sale, because this is really important for you to be able to network and to be able to keep these things as much as possible within your network without getting people confused by crazy URLs or stuff like that. Or some people like to do trend shops, which was something you can also do through your shop.com page. They make a crazy trend shop, they make it all pretty, and then they send out links to people, or they try to tell people what the link is, and people always forget. This will automatically track them. And when they sign in, so when they sign in using your, let's say, when they sign in here, like they have to in order to check out, they're going to be put into the system as your preferred customer across every platform. So now when they go to regularshop.com for something you tell them to buy and they log in, you tell them to log in using the same credentials that they used to log in the first time they purchased something, and everything is all good. It's all tracked. You get your BB, you get your IBV, you get your retail. And if you notice, sometimes I feel like, shop.com is a little overwhelming for people. Like we're sending them to buy lipstick and it's like, and they get on the site and we're like, oh my gosh, how did I end up seeing ads for jeans and vitamins and, all these other crazy products? I just wanted to buy lipstick. It's a little overwhelming. This is a way for you to keep them on track and onto products. So again, this was developed for musicians. So this is completely applicable to anybody in the music business, because they always post to social media and they always, we want to give them a way to monetize on the products that they're posting. Like if you are an artist and you're wearing a crazy cool outfit, you could post, a picture of your outfit, and you could put those details into this and add it up and say like, hey, this is how you rock the look. That's what we can do with an artist. But on the same tip, we as UFOs, we have our own network of people. We're talking to them about different things. And we can, kind of use our own network and our own influence or whatever we're passionate about and use the same tool to create a really great monetized social media. So that's why I think this is the coolest thing ever. So I'm gonna give you guys some time to ask questions about this, but also we are having a contest that is specific to the app. And we want you guys to learn how to use this. So what we're doing is anytime you post something we want you to use the app in order to post it, start working with it, start adding a couple of products here and there, using it to pop into your social media feeds, because again, it doesn't look salesy, it doesn't look weird, but it's a great way to have people click on something and check out your longer blog content and see your products that are available. And when you post, if you use the hashtag, Conquer Las Vegas 2021, we're actually going to be selecting people, like a person who uses this best in order to give them an awesome prize. So I don't know why this keeps kicking me out to stop sharing, because it's not my phone that's died, but I'm just going to make sure I stop sharing. And that way we should get back to the normal thing. All right, cool. So let's see if we have some questions. Okay. So, okay, I see Amanda and April have been answering them. All right, so Chad, if you have problems, so if there's an issue. Sorry, go.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead, Rachel. You had it.
Yeah, so I was saying, if there's any issues that you guys have problems posting, we are always updating the app. So you guys know Facebook and Instagram, they are huge tech companies with crazy algorithms that love to play games on how third-party apps interact with them. So we are always trying to stay on top of it. And our tech guy, Gary, is a freaking genius. And he's always able to catch and fix these bugs whenever they do a crazy update and we get kicked out or something weird happens or something off happens. So if you ever have a problem, please make sure you email April, Amanda, or Gary, and we will get that problem fixed. We will make sure the algorithms all set up. And yes, the hashtag for the contest is Conquer Las Vegas 2021. And we want you to get comfortable using this. We're going to be selecting a winner right before, the Vegas convention. And it's going to be super fun. So, have fun with it. It's really, it's nothing that you wouldn't normally post. This is just a really great way to add those products back into it. Okay. That's all I have.
And just real quick. Oops, am I muted? Oh no. Just real quick. And regarding the Instagram question, we already are aware that there's an issue with Instagram, and the update is actually already been created to fix that, and they're getting ready to push it live. So that should be fixed pretty shortly. There was a little issue with Instagram and the app, but we fixed it. It should be live any day.
Someone else is someone else asking a question, or is just someone, we're just breaking up a little? Okay. How is that going to
I think you should take the training, the person who
Yeah.
said that.
So if you guys want to see a better connection, Amanda. Okay. Amanda, you're super breaking up, but I'm just gonna let you guys know that if you guys want to know a clear connection between the app, well, I don't think you can either. Go find her. She's gonna be like, sweetie.
She's gonna say it on my line.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so the bottom line is the app is to help you earn revenue. So when you're talking about EDM shows, Billboard Hot 100, stuff like that, I'm wondering how many followers you have on social media right now, where you're at right now in your career. I'd love to talk to you about that. But the bottom line is any booking agent, promoter, anyone worth their salt is looking at where you're at in terms of your current following, your current audience. The other thing is you need to have professional quality photos, videos, music. There's a lot of cost in building your career as an artist, as a musician. And if you're not making any money, I know a lot of people have big ideas that they're going to get signed to a major label and that label is going to invest millions of dollars in them. The truth is, without a following, labels aren't doing that anymore. I know entire A&R departments at major divisions of Universal that they all work on Wall Street now in hedge funds because
they no longer have a job as an A&R. A&R stands for artist and repertoire, if you're not familiar with what that is. And the A&R department is who used to go out and find raw talent and sign them and put the budget together to develop them and then release them. And that's no longer a thing. Artists that already have an existing audience, that already have a well-developed brand with an independent team are usually who the major labels are signing. If you see somebody get signed from a major label and get thrown maybe $20,000, $20,000 isn't going to do much. It takes a 6-figure budget to get an artist on Billboard Top 100. Just to give you an idea, to have national radio play on top 40 pop stations in major markets, you're going to spend at least $500,000. And that's to get maybe 10 spins a day in those major markets. So, and I'm going way off subject for most people on the call, but just to answer your specific question, it takes a lot of money to do all the things you're talking about. It takes a large engaged following, and a label, somebody that's going to put that type of money behind you, they're going to want to see revenue already coming in, which is what the app has to do with. That's great that you released a song this month. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, that's the answer. The answer is that it's a long road to being in all of those things that you talked about, and you need to be making money in order to do most of that, and you need to have a following, and you need to have good engagement. That's the bottom line. But what we focus on is internet marketing, and we focus on lifestyle marketing. That's what we do. So, we help mainly musicians, but all sorts of influencers. We've really expanded into influencer marketing, and I've kept Rachel on longer than I intended to. And I just want to real quick let Rachel hop off and tell her thank you very much for coming. Rachel is full-time at Columbia University and in pre-med amongst many other things that she's doing. So I really appreciate her making the time to come on and be with us tonight. I wasn't even going to ask her to come on. I have a video of her I was going to play, but last minute we were chatting today, and she was available, and I felt bad asking her to come on, but she
I love this stuff. She knows I love it. So
we love you, Rachel. Linda, Bronx, New York, baby. I love you.
Hey, Linda.
Hi, honey. Love you, Amanda, and April too. I'm sorry, guys. I just interrupted.
Oh, you're okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I did have a few more slides I wanted to go through with you, but Zoom is acting up on my computer. But just a couple last things. So with our certified artist developer class, you're going to see immediate growth. So just kind of leaving on this note, we can definitely double your followers within 6 to 12 months of working with us directly. Even if you only have 100 followers right now, we can take you to several thousand in under a year. If your goal is to get to 10,000, if you're, let's say, maybe around 5,000 right now, we can definitely get you there within a year. What on average we can get for most people is we can help them work to where they have a content strategy and a targeted engagement strategy where they're getting 100 new followers per week on average. And by that, I mean 100 followers that stay. As you're growing, you'll have people that are doing follow, unfollow strategies. So you'll have your numbers go up and down with those type of people. But 100 engaged followers that are in your audience that are paying attention to you that stick. So 100 growth is really what I should say per week. We can help you get steady engagement on your page. And the biggest thing is we can help you monetize your online brand. So just a quick note on when our next CAD training is. Our next CAD training is Sunday, April 3rd and Saturday, April 3rd and Sunday, April 4th. It's a 2-day full in-depth training. And I apologize, I have slides for this, but we're not getting cooperation on Zoom on my computer. So I'm just going through it with you. But Saturday, April 3rd and Sunday, April 4th, It's 2 days, full in-depth training, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on both days. We're doing a $195 special for our webinar attendees. The price is normally $250. So it's a $195 special. After this, it's going to go up to $250. And you're able to register at, and I'm sorry that this is not on a slide for you, but GetConquer, GetConquer.com/CAD training. And that's always where you're able to go register for our trainings. Normally our trainings are in person. This one was actually originally scheduled to be in person. But with everything going on with COVID, we ended up moving it to online. This will probably be one of the last ones that's online. We did the last 2 online as well. But we do feel like these trainings go better in person. We're better able to get a feel for where you are as a brand and what your needs are. And we're better able to help you face to face in person. So I've had a lot of requests to keep them online. I know you guys want them online, but I feel like in person, we have your full attention. We're able to interact with each other. You're able to get help from the other people in the room. I like the in-person training, so we're going to keep them in person. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days. And again, getconquer.com/CAD training. And again, this is for you if you're feeling confused or overwhelmed about getting your music brand to grow or your music-based business. It's for you if you want to learn quickly how to grow your artist's social media following and engagement. Again, if you already have a large following and good engagement and you want to learn how to monetize it, or maybe you just came here because you thought I looked cool and you wanted to come hang with me for an hour, and that's cool too. So again, this is a one-of-a-kind lifestyle training that we're going to have in April. We've cracked the code on lifestyle marketing and growing an engaged following. And I'm going to provide you guys a strategy and a roadmap that no one else is training on. And again, it's a special webinar rate of $195 for this training. Valid only for you guys on this webinar. The training retails for $250. It's the fastest, cheapest, and most fun way to grow and monetize your fan base. And we're going to provide you a 5-step system during the training that you guys can easily follow and apply to your own brand with lifestyle marketing. A couple bonuses with the training. We give you a private invite to an exclusive training Facebook group. We offer you a huge database of resources and tools. You're going to get, this is the big one, you're going to get a personal 90-day one-on-one follow-up where we coach you, we help you grow your brand, we help you develop a strategy to meet your goals, your own personal goals. And if you look at what coaching is, price-wise normally, the fact that you are getting both the training and the coaching for this price, it's ridiculous, to the point where we actually are not able to do it anymore after this next training. Normally you're going to spend thousands of dollars on one-on-one coaching. You're not going to get a coach for 90 days one-on-one anywhere else or any other time for this price. It's literally the last time we can do it, because April's kind of gotten overextended with this. So it's the last time we're going to offer it. You also get an exclusive Instagram workbook, and you get an artist career manual that takes you step by step. And it's okay if you're not an artist, if you're just an influencer, it's just an extra thing that's there. But if you're an artist, that's extremely valuable. So what are the steps to make this your story? You could do this on your own. You could try and take the couple of little gems I gave you here today and try and go out and do it on your own. I've learned the hard way that, trying to go out and figure everything out yourself, it's the longest and hardest road in any business to get where you're going. The other thing you could do is hire someone to do it for you, but that requires, upfront expense of thousands of dollars, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Or the way that I have found the best, and this is the route that you'd be taking here, is learning from an expert. Let somebody, you have the benefit of not spending those thousands of dollars to hire someone to do the work for you. You're able to do it yourself. But you also don't have the pitfalls of trying to figure out how to do it on your own. So step one, you're going to go to getconquer.com/CAD training. And I just want to turn the camera around for a second and show you what's on my computer here. So it's a little bit less confusing when you go there. When you get there, it's going to ask for some information. I think we actually slimmed this down. You do not have to put in your unfranchised owner ID. That's not required. This training is for everybody. You don't have to be an unfranchised owner to take it, but you're just going to fill out this little bit of information there. Make sure you do fill out everything other than the unfranchised owner ID, though, because I don't think it'll actually let you go to the next page if you don't fill it all out. And this is older pricing on here, but there is a restart. So if you've taken the training before, there is actually a $50 recertification. There's also a $50 audit one day that you can get. So if you just want to take one day of the training just to see what it's like, not take the whole thing, you can pay $50 and just audit one day. That doesn't actually get you our certification, which allows you to put artists on our platform. Soon we're going to expand that to influencers. Not there yet, but the information's still good for influencers. So you're going to select what you're going to select if you're new and you're taking the whole training is the 2-day, day 1 and day 2, the full $195 price. It's going up to $250 after in 48 hours. And then step 4, you want to make sure you check the terms and condition box at the bottom right there. We have a lot of people that say that the site's not working. They just forgot to check the box. And step 5, submit form to cart. And just a note, the CAD training versus similar programs. This is, well, normally an in-person training. We offer an extensive resource library. Other programs often do that. But we also have a built-in affiliate program, which is really cool. That allows you to implement everything that you learn in the training, pretty much plug and play. We offer you a whole toolkit, including an affiliate program, and 90-day post-training coaching, which I don't know anyone else that offers that. So that's pretty amazing. So any other questions you guys have for me? I'm here to answer your questions. I know we're a little bit more than a little bit over on time, but I'm here to answer your questions. I can hang out for a few more minutes with you. And I see that there is stuff on the chat.
And this was amazing. I am so thankful to you for taking the time to share all of this. I mean, as an unfranchised owner, just to learn all of the things that, I mean, we are learning something new every day, I feel like. But this was mind-blowing what we have available right at our fingertips. And I'm just so thankful to you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to pour into us and educate us. And I'm just really, really thankful for you being here. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, this information was priceless, and I got to tell you, and that app, it was absolutely mind blowing. Because I heard about the app, but I did not realize that it did everything that it actually does. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Well, what we're able to actually use that app for. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And Rachel did an awesome job explaining it.
All right. Yeah, you were right bringing her on, Amanda, to explain it.
I had a question.
Than I do. Okay.
I had a question, Amanda. When it comes to the 195, and you said something about bringing artists on, what did that mean exactly when you said bring artists?
So we have a special program it's currently for artists. We do plan on expanding it to influencers. In general, an artist, we just see that currently as a type of influencers, but our program, basically all of the expenses normally come with shop.com. An artist does not have those. Okay. So there's no, they're paying $15 a month and that's it. There's no UFMS fee. There's no auto ship requirements. There's no getting activated.
So they have a spot in the system, and I don't want to get too jargony on here, but
Right.
but basically they have a very special designation within our system where they're able to utilize our affiliate marketing and our sales portal, like, you know, like people who spend a lot more are able to leverage.
Gotcha.
So they have a very special setup,
Okay.
essentially. So you're able to register those people for the platform if you take the training.
Gotcha.
So it's not,
Okay.
yeah, it's not just anybody that can register them. You have to take the training first before you can register them for the platform.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, and the requirement for artists is that they have at least 10,000 followers already on any one social media platform.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, but the training, it still, you know, the information that you're going to get in it still works great for influencers, and they can still register as affiliates. They just can't get our special setup that we offer, which is
Right.
a really unique and wonderful setup for them. But that's why we place such high requirements on it, and that's why we require you to take the training, because if they have 10,000 followers, they've worked really hard for that. They're really
Right.
protective of their brand, and I need you to understand how to properly help them, essentially.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was good hearing you and seeing you guys again. I caught you in Miami pre-COVID, and yeah, the app is wonderful. I actually do Web Center accountability calls, and I've been introducing the app to those guys in Web Centers, some of my Web Center owners. So they're loving it. They
Excellent.
loving it. Yeah. So
Well, I've
because
been working really closely with Web Centers and Jason on the direction we're moving in terms of influencer marketing.
yeah,
So we should have some really great new technology to show you sometime in the next 12 months, and some really great training also. You know, we're getting rid of the 90-day follow-up, but we're going to supplement it with some really great additional training to give you guys the same value.
cool,
So
cool.
we're
Looking
not
forward
just
to it.
taking that away and not giving you anything to replace it.
Right. Looking forward to it, man. Appreciate it.
So
Excellent.
Amanda, if there's an artist that comes to you and doesn't have the 10,000 followers, you'll work with them and help them to get to that point?
So here's the deal with that. We do have something, a package that costs $199. That is an artist development package that helps with all those things. It's actually, I'm sort of ripping myself off doing that. It definitely takes a lot more of our time resources to help them get where they need to be, where they're going to get to 10,000 followers, than that $199 is worth. So I encourage you to use that for somebody that is like, somebody that has 100 followers on a social media channel and has no music and something like that. I wouldn't get that $199 package for them, because it's going to take us several years before we get them to 10,000. You're not making money until they're on the platform. You, as a certified artist developer, make money when they make money. You make money when they sell products, right? And they're not going to be able to sell any products until they have a solid brand, until they have an audience, a following, until they have music, you know, until they have product. So, it doesn't really make sense for you to take, you know, I get a lot of people that ask me about their brother or their cousin or this guy down the street that's really, really good, and they have a great voice and they sing so well, and they're doing me such a big favor bringing them to me. And that guy is better off taking the training themselves. The training does a lot to teach you how to, you know, we don't fully teach you how to brand yourself in the training like an artist needs to, from 0 to 100, right? We teach you, if you're about at 50%, how to take that up to 100. But somebody that's really raw, that's just getting started in terms of being a musician, usually needs to go from 0 to 100. But the 90-day follow-up helps a lot with that, and we teach them how to do the things they need to do. So they're better off taking the training. But somebody that has 8,000 followers and isn't quite meeting the 10,000 requirement and just needs a little help getting it to the next level, they have a pretty solid brand, but it needs some tweaking. It needs some help. It's probably why they're not getting noticed by booking agents and record labels and stuff like that. They just need a little bit of work. They're almost there. They're just missing it on a few marks. That's what that artist development package is for. But it's not for somebody that's really, really raw and just getting started. That somebody is not yet a professional musician, and they're certainly not an influencer. That's somebody that has some raw talent that needs a lot of work, right? But yeah, the training is definitely beneficial for everybody who wants to build a brand and who wants or needs to do internet marketing. A musician needs to be fluent in influencer marketing and in internet marketing. They need to know how to run social media. And, you know, a lot of musicians don't want to hear it. I've had so many, that example I gave of a music industry professional, the same musicians that don't want to hear that they need to do well with digital marketing and social media are the same ones that say, I don't understand why I'm not getting the credibility I deserve. I don't understand why everybody treats me like a baby artist. Those are the same people. But you try and tell them, I literally had one of those people who had those exact complaints when I tried to teach them social media, say, I don't have time to do all this stuff. I just want to make music. And that's great. And I understand from an artist standpoint, that perspective. I get that. But you have to live in the world that you live in. And if you want to be a professional musician, part of what you have to do is internet marketing and social media marketing. And you have to be bringing in revenue. Being a musician is expensive. It's not cheap. And a lot of musicians have the wrong idea that somebody's going to just throw a bunch of money at them because they're so wonderful. But there's a million really talented singers out there, and nobody's just going to throw money at you because you're so wonderful. They're going to throw money at you. Number one, the money is not there for record labels anymore. Right. There's nobody going diamond or triple platinum anymore. It costs a lot more money to, when somebody goes gold, record labels are spending 10 times what they used to for that to happen, because it used to be they were able to control the outlets. You had MTV, you had a few select top 40 stations, they were able to control where you were getting the music. Now there's 10 million satellite stations, a billion internet stations. There's Spotify, there's Pandora, they're not able to control the market anymore. They're not able to control where you're getting music from. So you're getting it from everywhere. They have to have it. They have to spend money to have the music everywhere to get an album to go gold. And it costs a lot of money. So, but the flip side of that is that they don't have to take the same risk. You can reach directly to the consumer. So they can go on, and there's very clear numbers online of how much people like you. So they can assess what their risk is based on what they see online. So they can go and see how many followers you have, what type of engagement that you have, what type of audience you have even. Are they people that spend money? You might be a really talented musician with a huge following, but it might be a bunch of people that are not in a demographic that spend any money. So is it worth, how much money can they afford to put into you? And they're not going to take the risk on raw talent who's undeveloped, who it's the more audience you have, the less risk you are. But also, if you already have money coming in, that goes into their risk assessment. They see that there's already money coming. So it's not just that I'm betting on an audience making purchases. I already see them making purchases. So I'm going to sign you, and I'm going to put more money into you to take you to the next level. But there's a lot of artists that don't understand that. And I really got off on a big tangent there, but the bottom line is, you want an influencer, and anybody looking to put an artist on the platform, it's not worth it to you unless they already have the audience there. But it'd be great for them to take the training, for them to participate in lifestyle marketing, and for them to become, an affiliate or an unfranchised owner. And that's a smart way to go, and they'll learn. Learning is always good. Taking the training is always good. So.
Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, that was really great information, actually.
Awesome.
It's a good learning, teaching moment for us.
Yeah, I have to tell you, man, your passion for what you're doing, and to want to be able to help these artists is unparalleled. It's really amazing. You pour your heart and soul into it, and we really appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate that.
Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate all of the time you've given us. We've definitely kept you way longer than we expected, but we appreciate you hanging in with us and really just teaching us what what you know. And definitely, I'm gonna take this training just because I want to learn more.
Excellent.
It's not my area of expertise, but I still want to learn. So
Well, as
just
long
I
as
can
you
help.
are participating in digital marketing, it's something that'll be helpful to you. So
Yeah. Yeah, true. That's true. Yeah, it's much more than I thought it was. Honestly, it's so much more. And I think that everybody can benefit from it for sure, especially because of the way technology is advancing and we all need this as business owners for sure. So thank you so much.
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having us. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you so much for tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll be booking another one of these sometime next month, right?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
With somebody. Okay. All right. So you guys just look out for that. We'll be posting that information as soon as we get it booked.
Okay.
Yeah, Amanda.